So, I don't know if you know this, but there are still a handful of good comic book writers out there. Some of them aren't doing comic books anymore, and most of them, I mean, I think like 90% of them aren't even in mainstream comics anymore. They're all doing their own thing, and it's all fantastic. It really is. You know what? Let's get to this. This doesn't need a preface. Chuck Dixon explains why Marvel hates the Punisher. This is so funny on so many levels. If I didn't mention in the previous video, I'm sure somebody like Yellow Flash did. Actually, I know he mentioned this previously, where they just emasculated and destroyed the Punisher. It's terrible. But Chuck Dixon, who is a very well-known and famous comic book writer, has his own YouTube channel where he answers fans' questions. And that's where this comes in at. Longtime Punisher writer Chuck Dixon recently went in depth on why he believes Marvel Comics hates the Punisher. In episode 152 of his Ask Chuck Dixon series on YouTube, I'll leave a link to this article and his YouTube down below. The gunslinger asked, Chuck, I have been a fan of the Punisher since I was a kid. I've always wanted to ask, do they hate the Punisher because he doesn't fit into their vision? Or do they hate him because of his idea and the fans of liking the idea that he refutes most of their heroes don't kill argument? Dixon responded, they don't like him for the same reason that DC doesn't like Guy Gardner. And fans like the Punisher for the same reason they like Guy Gardner. Most comic book characters are either brainiacs, mutants, scientists, you know, whatever. I mean, he's not wrong. There's very few superheroes that have blue-collar origins. Frank Castle and Guy Gardner are blue-collar superheroes. They're the average guys driven to extremes. A lot of readers respond to that because readers aren't brainiacs, mutants, or scientists. They are driving a truck or stocking shelves, you know, working for a paycheck. I mean, this is absolutely true. And I think this is a problem with writers nowadays, not just comic books, but in the film industry as well, at where some of these people just never had a regular job. They never worked at a Walmart or a McDonald's or anywhere like that. They just got thrown into the deep end for various reasons. I mean, I think that is why you can look at Static Shock as a beloved hero. He may not be an A-list character, but that is a character with super grounded origins. People's response to these characters because of those origins and because they have blue collar origins, when they're written correctly, they say stuff and do stuff other comic book characters won't. They don't have the same mores, and the same code. That was a weird word. Specifically addressing the idea of superheroes not killing, Dixon said, now as far as superheroes don't kill, Wolverine certainly kills. Yes, he does. His comics are very brutal. We see other comic book heroes who kill. To single out Frank Castle because he kills people, you know, that's their argument. It's an inaccurate one. After discussing how America embraced Archie Bunker and All in the Family, he noted that Punisher followed a similar trajectory where blue-collar Americans embraced the character while New York elites and writers were horrified at the results, but nevertheless they were still willing to make cash off the character despite their distaste for it. He says they were embarrassed by everything about the Punisher, particularly his audience, and that's not hard to believe. I mean, look, you can see here they hated the fact that people used his logo so much, they changed it here into this weird demon thing. He says, I think this really all came to a head when our military and police began using the Punisher skull symbol on their uniforms. I mean, literally painting it on the side of their armored personal carriers and Bradley fighting machines in Iraq. And suddenly the public was seeing the Punisher skull symbol. Many of them, for the first time, non-comic book readers didn't know what the symbol was, but there it was popping up everywhere on the car windows and things like that. And you know, cops wearing the symbol. Ew, our soldiers are wearing the symbol. Oh, boo, boo, boo. We're going to take the Punisher and we're going to mangle him and we're going to destroy him, which they've done with a lot of characters, which is why the comic book industry is dying. We're going to do what no other entertainment company has ever done. We are going to purposely take one of our intellectual properties and tear it to the ground, and that's what they did, and that's the reason for it, Dixon declared. I mean, the film industry did it too, so I'm not arguing with Chuck Dixon on this one. I'm just saying they've done it all over the place. Just look at Luke Skywalker. I will never get over what they did to Luke Skywalker. I can put up with Mark Hamill's stupidity. What I cannot put up with was the destruction of Luke Skywalker. Whew. Any other lofty reason they give is BS. The main reason they wanted to get rid of the Punisher is because they hated the Punisher and they hate you for liking it. I'm going to leave a link to this article below so you can read the rest of it, and also a link to his YouTube channel so you can actually watch the full thing. But he's not saying anything wrong here, in my opinion. I mean, he would know. But just as a consumer standpoint, it feels a lot like if you buy one of these comic books, they actively hate you for supporting your favorite characters. So they try to insult you and destroy these characters in any way possible. That's just what it's felt like. And you don't have to look very far to see that. In the last Punisher series they released, they brought his wife, they brought Frank Castle's wife back, pretty much cucked him. She sold off his guns and everything. She was going to divorce him, and she basically left him to commit suicide. It was all just so freaking stupid and terrible. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm just sitting here waiting for comic books to come back to the way they used to be, and with people like Ripa and Chuck Dixon leading the way, we may get there. It'll take some time, but it is what it is. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. See you next time.